Hello everyone, this is Lovely Austin here.
And I'm Chauncey Morris Jr. and welcome to the Journey to Becoming Whole podcast.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in yet again. This is the 5th episode, y'all. Y'all hung in there with us. Thank you. I appreciate y'all, all the followers. We got subscribers and everything. Thank y'all. It means a lot to us. It really, really, really does. But we want you, I want to say this right here in the beginning. We want you to talk to us. Talk to us. Tell us how you feel about the episode, some of your own experiences and things like that, okay? All right, so we're going to jump on into today's episode. Again, episode 5, Surviving Bad Relationships. All right. Mr. Chauncey.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, my goodness. So I'm going to say this. I've been through a lot of bad relationships.
You saying that while laughing?
I've been through a lot of bad relationships, both romantic and friendship. So I guess I can, go through my like some of that and how I survived that. But honestly, up front, I would love to hear your take on this. I know you and I know that relationship can span further than just romantic. Yes. So tell me your thoughts on this.
Well, when we were exploring this topic, number one, just to let everyone know that me and my wife are relationship and family counselors. Yes. And we've been doing it for close to 15 years altogether, professionally. Yeah. And I too, as you have stated, I've been through a barrage of relationships on multiple levels since as far back as I can think. Having the ability to identify each relationship, what type it is, what was the purpose of it, and whether or not they benefit from being in a relationship with me versus the opposite, me being, me getting some benefit from them. So I wanted to talk about getting and surviving bad relationship because I want to put a positive twist on it. Because we're tying it into the journey to becoming whole. Exactly. So, maybe it's not about whether it was bad or good, but how can we benefit from bad relationship? That's going to challenge us. So I wanted to really focus on pushing us forward so that we don't do what most people do is, however traumatic and toxic those relationships are, we don't take the time to evaluate what happened, the reasons why, and what we can do better. So that was my mindset when I decided that we would take a stab at bad relationships. Because we know it's vast, and there's a lot of trauma and a lot of disappointment that happens with relationship. But I've learned a whole lot about how we channel in these things with real intimate lessons. Okay. So that's the direction I wanted us to go.
Okay. So really trying to not so much focus on the fact that it was a bad relationship, how we got through those things.
Yes.
And what we learned. I think that is a big statement about what we learned from. Because I don't think a lot of people actually take the time to go into themselves and try to figure out what lesson because I feel like everything is a lesson.
It is.
So if everything's a lesson, it is essential for us to actually go through the process, go within ourselves and try to learn whatever lesson we were supposed to learn from that relationship, because I don't think anything is by accident. You know, if you connected with somebody, I feel like there was a reason why you connected to that person. And we have to also understand that everybody that we meet and we connect with don't necessarily mean they're supposed to stay in our lives either. So
you just chopped up a lot of things in that one statement, because there's a lot of dynamics in that. And,
exactly.
And so one of the basic ways to break down the journey of a relationship is, you're either in my life for a reason
or a season.
You're either there for a season,
yeah,
or you'll be there for a lifetime. And that's just a general way to kind of lock in, like, the self-evaluation part about what it is to be in a relationship with someone. Because, again, it's tiers, and I like to break stuff down. It's tiers because even in that, is it business?
Very true.
Is it
very true
intimate?
Yeah.
Is it a casual friendship?
So we have to label.
Yes. I don't think we evaluate and discern enough when we're walking and dealing with people. And some type of way it feels like it's illegal to do so, when it's the opposite. It's like we should feel free enough to evaluate and discern people all around us. Even the Bible tells us that we're supposed to discern those who labor among us, who walk with us. Like, even though we are together, it doesn't mean we agree.
True.
Just because we hanging out or just because we have things in common don't mean that we're locked in.
Right.
So that's the reason why I'm passionate about exploring all these things. Now, in the grand scheme of things, we can't waste all of our time just evaluating.
Very true.
You know what I'm saying? But to be able to have a clear index on how to break down the fabrics of why this is important, I think that's special to us. And so the bad things that happen are as important as the good things.
Absolutely.
Because we're laying down foundation for a right now thing, or this is the season that I'm supposed to be building with you, or we're supposed to be working together, or when we're talking about such things as marriage, where we're supposed to be building it for a lifetime. So that's different tiers to how relationships are established. So that we should make it more comfortable. This should be normal for us to discern people. And since we've been friends, we've listened to each other talk about the other relationships we in with people and the perils of the good, the bad, and the ugly. Most of the time, bad or good, we're better people because of it.
Absolutely.
I'm bouncing that right to you. I'm bouncing that right to you. Yes.
Let me tell you, there has been relationships that ended that I had to get to a point in my life where I had to really sit down and figure out, not necessarily what went, well, of course I always go, okay, what exactly went wrong? But then there's a part of me that's like, because I know that every relationship, there's a reason behind every relationship, I've gotten, in my, I say early 30s, gotten to a place where I had to say, okay, so what did I learn from this? I was in a relationship, it was a romantic relationship for like over 3 years. And for the longest time, I was giving myself the narrative that this person wasted my time. This person wasted 3 years of my life, and we ended up not together. But then there was I went through a very transformative time in my life when I was in that relationship. Not even so much in that relationship, just that time in my life in general. I learned so much from this person. I thought I cut that off.
It's okay.
I learned so much from that relationship that I had to tell myself, love, do you really regret it? Because at first I was like, when you go through the process of, oh, you wasted my time, that means that everything there was no benefit in that for you at all. And I knew I couldn't say that. I definitely couldn't say that. I learned editing when I was with this person. They made me put the work in. They made me say, okay, you have to learn how to edit in your own style. I wouldn't be who I am right now had I not met this person and this person was in my life. Just because it didn't work out doesn't mean that it wasn't meant. That time with that person wasn't meant. It had to happen. I learned so much in that. I think I learned more in that relationship than probably any relationship I've ever been in, because I'm telling you, it really catapulted me to another level in business, and in levels of understanding of more about me as a person. It was such an evolutionary time. And then when the time was over, I was bitter for a little while, I ain't gonna lie. About a good close to a year. But then I kept telling myself, Keisha, and Keisha, y'all, Keisha is my first name. If I would refer to myself in the third person and I say Keisha, Keisha is my first name. That's the reason why I say it. Love Lee is my middle name. So that I couldn't regret anything. As much as I wanted to, you know how you want to stay mad and bitter, like that's helping you. Like you're punishing the person by you being mad and bitter and unforgiving. It does not. It does not do anything for you to still be angry, to still be bitter, to still be in unforgiveness. Because that just, for me, I can't talk for anybody else. It makes you, something festers inside of your being. For me, the best way to describe it is, I feel like I'm getting darker. Like my spirit seems to get dark and heavy and agitated. Like, so I can't carry unforgiveness because it manifests into something that I don't like. So that's, I don't know if this is going outside of what we saying.
No, you out. You going where I want you to go. You gave the perfect example.
Wow.
I'm glad. I know what you're talking about. I know the situation.
Yeah.
And you gave a perfect example of this. And it's because we have to choose our path moving forward.
We do have to
and
choose.
Most people move forward with the bitterness and the disappointment.
Yeah.
But you gave an example of how when you truly evaluated the situation, yes, we can be so disappointed in who left, who we broke up with. And one of the reasons why we feel that anger and we say we wasted our time is usually because we all gave up the booty. If it's an intimate relationship, we'll look at giving up booty, having relationships with someone as an investment.
Yeah.
That's true. Especially if you don't consider yourself a hoe, you right. Literally feel like, well, if I entered into you and you entered into me, this is the bond. This is locked in. And some people can be so casual with it that it's like there was no feelings, emotions, or commitment. But if you are a person that you really care and you're really seeking for validation in relationship, that means something to you, then it's not casual.
Right.
So you will feel the sense of loss because of what your experience is, the connection severed.
Yeah.
But the decision on how what happened, and we right now it seems like we're resonating with the intimate side of things. Yeah. But when we lose that connection, we have to determine what it meant to us.
Yes.
I love you saying that you identified. You didn't just list what was wrong, what had happened. You identified, wait a minute, in this process, in those few years I was with them, I grew here, I was challenged here, that happened, they said this to me, I said this to them, and in the process we grew in areas. So how can you say it was never meant to be because it didn't work out? People do it all the time. But it's just like whenever we have our show on divorce, we're gonna really get more in depth with well, maybe we weren't meant to be. It's impossible to say that because we choose as we understand.
Yeah.
We choose as we understand. And whoever we're with, good, bad, or indifferent, it's a part of the application of maturity and wisdom to evaluate it all because it's all meant to be.
Yeah.
When we are making decisions, when it comes out of our mouth and we decide to do something, we don't know it was a bad choice until we experience what happened with that decision. Sometimes
that's true.
Because I'm gonna tell you why I'm passionate about this, because somebody is telling us that we just label relationships as good or bad.
Yeah.
And that's the scope. No, it's actually
definitely not the scope. Yeah.
It's not even in the realm.
True. That's just
because
a small portion.
It's a small portion of a bigger picture that if we choose to explore, we'll find more benefits out of the experiences. So when we see that we don't have to be confined and limited to the small thinking that's made available to us, all of a sudden we can have these same conversations. Like, I felt that your example was very, very colorful because you didn't decide to just be vicious about the actual loss. Yes, I am disappointed. I'm mad. I'm upset. You said it took a year for you to get over it.
Yeah.
But that means you saying it took you a year also says you had a year to evaluate.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. I won't use my first example with something that's intimate, as far as me being in an intimate sexual relationship with somebody, because I've been with the same person most of my adult life. Yeah. I would say that this, for me, the frequency for me was business relationships. The truth is, and I'm going to say it on camera because I don't know if the people that I've been in business will ever see this. So I want to be honest and I want to be clean. When I go into business with people, it is as intimate as me being in a sexual relationship.
Absolutely, and we should take it that way.
Because for me, if I'm in a business relationship with you and I decide that this is what I'm supposed to do, I give it my all.
Yes.
I give it everything I got and more.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I've been in business relationships where the other sides of the relationship didn't feel the same way and didn't give the same way. So I end up taking major losses because the same amount of great energy I put in it will also can set you up for the greater losses.
Yeah.
I didn't understand that going through it, but after surviving a lot of those business arrangements, I've had plenty of time. You marked a year. Some of the things I went through, it took me 2 and 3 years psychologically to get over those things. Now I'm talking about in some cases having to get counseling. It's because I always give 100 or more, and sometimes people just gave what they wanted. So I can say that it was some good and some bad, but really I have to chalk it up to not just it being a bad experience because we wound up having to shut the businesses down. It's more so that I grew. I grew from all of it.
Right.
The bad makes us evaluate more than the good. See, because if you think about it, if you're in a good relationship, you're not evaluating anything. You're just enjoying the ride. But when things get tough, it forces us to have to evaluate what happened. That's why it's good for people to argue and debate in a relationship, because actually I was in a business arrangement where nobody wanted to argue. And that was terrible for the business.
I don't like to argue.
Yeah. Well,
we can have a discussion, but I don't like to argue.
No, we need to debate. I've been labeled as one of the nicest guys in the world. I'm the peacemaker. I've been that, and some of it has been to not only myself, my family, but the entire business's detriment, because we have to protect our baby.
Absolutely.
And sometimes trying to keep the peace will kill our babies.
Oh, yeah. Now, if there's something that needs to be said, it needs to be said. For sure. Like, we can't hold that in any relationship, any type of relationship. Well,
it's supposed to be a freedom in that. But do you know that in relationship, it has to be established and built? So if it's not established and built, if you are the same way you are day one and day 653, something is wrong.
Agree.
So
I 1,000% agree with
and
that.
And I will insert this just for the sake of the podcast. One of the dynamics that me and my wife taught for I don't know how many years is when we discovered that a marital relationship is a living organism. It's a baby.
It is.
It's born, it's conceived, it's born. We make a decision when we having this child that we're going to take care of it to the best of our ability. But that includes nurturing it. Make sure it's changed. Look, sometimes the baby produce doo-doo. You got to change its pamper, clean it.
Oh, that's very good.
You know, and you know, you talk to it, you sing to it, you make sure that it's warm. You take care of it. You make sure it has its best clothes on.
Yeah.
A married relationship is the same way. Most marriages die because the same expectations they start on day one, they expect it 5 years down the road. They expect it 10 years. There's no growth because it's supposed to evolve and grow, and we have to do the work.
Yeah.
And most of the time, when you see the problems start to show up in a marriage, I'm just going to take you into our mind. You'll realize that some of the index is, well, this person changed right here. The other person still had the same expectation.
Yeah.
Well, this happened for them. This changed the trajectory of their career path, and this person is still here. Like the tugging and the pulling with the same expectation. Well, we used to go to bed at 8 o'clock, but now you're working second shift because it's your company, and you work during the day, and at night you have to go over the sales and everything that happened in preparation for the plan for the next day, while the spouse is still expecting you to be at bed at 8 o'clock because this is our time. Like inside of the journey of the relationship, we are equipped to be able to adjust the knobs. Yeah. When you was 21 and I was 19 and we got married, we were teenagers. At 25, when the children are here, we became adults and parents, and our roles changed. Yeah. But are we discussing it? Are we talking about it? Are we sitting down and debating to find compromise? So in the index of marriages, I'm just talking about from an intimate, we aren't trained, we aren't taught the building blocks, of creating something that could last for eternity. We don't even know what that is, but we up there talking about, yes, I do, richer or poor, sickness or health too. So for us, the thing that me and my wife had to do, we had to kill our first marriage. Yeah. It did not evolve, and the first half of our marriage was leading us down destruction, and we experienced every part of what that was. The new marriage that we have now is the one that we created, and that new marriage, that new contract, it came with understanding. Yeah. And it came with respect. It came with giving someone room to grow and how to grow with them. Now, I can take that same index that I just said to you, and I can do a business the same way. But I didn't do that before. So the same thing is going to happen. If we don't learn how to discern the bad and the good throughout the journey, we can't prevent it from failing. Yeah. or ending or the divorce of the partnership in the business. And it's like, how do you know that you're good partners unless you go through it and see, and then you have to make a tough decision that we are not good for this journey. I don't have to hate you.
Yeah.
You don't have that. So that's like I said. There's a part where we can find something whole out of every relationship, but it's according to us discerning the applications within those processes. So
wow, that was good.
This is an Onyx Urban Media Group production.